welcome you to Pure Pro Wrestling.
Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through.
The first fighter, the first combatant looking to win that World Television Championship.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, weighing in at 215 pounds, the Hurricane.
I will be here with you every week, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I'm the best damn pro wrestling announcer going. It's your boy, Arachnid Soul. As we await the Hurricane's opponent. We do have brackets, but those brackets are empty. We don't know who's going to be competing in these matches until they walk out. It looks like the man himself, Ricochet, maybe the best cruiserweight to come down the pike in the past 20 years, is in the tournament.
And his opponent from Paducah, Kentucky, weighing in at 190 pounds, Ricochet!
This man is a serious problem in the cruiserweight division, not only here, but in organizations around the globe. Tonight, to quote the professor, Mike Tenay, is an evening that revolves around history. We will crown our first ever champion. Opening round starts now. Before we get there, let's take a look at these tournament rules. Bracket placement will be done at random. Wrestler selection will happen in the same order of the bracket placement. 15-minute time limit in all matches aside from the finals, which will have no time limit. Only wrestlers with an 82 rating or lower can compete in the TV division. Only in-game wrestlers allowed. Weapon use will result in the opponent getting an automatic bye to the next round and a possible suspension. You hear that opening bell. Usually I save that for the main event, but here tonight, it is a special occasion. The Hurricane with that rolling soul butt there. There's that Steve Corino driver. The Hurricane, a man who started his career in North Carolina. We are here tonight in the home state of the Hurricane, and the fans are behind him. Drop salt that time from Ricochet, shades of Paul London. The Hurricane now, shot off, shoulder block there, neither man goes down. There's that Masato Tanaka-like rolling elbow. The Hurricane standing at 6 foot 215 as we see that enziguri. Ricochet not far off at 5'9", 190 pounds. Hurricane now, T-bone suplex over the top. We kick things off fast. We kick things off hot. We kick things off with the cruiserweights of Pure Pro Wrestling. Once again, that moonsault, the drop salt drop kick from Ricochet. Short arm uppercut knee strike. The Hurricane now convalescing outside the ring, and it looks like Ricochet is gonna fly. Let's see what this man does over the top. Tope con hilo. The somersault plancha. Hurricane, vertical suplex outside the ring. It's very thin padding that we have here in Pure Pro Wrestling. There's a Red Star Press, a move perfected by Amazing Red. Here tonight, you will watch the best in pro wrestling compete for the Pure Pro Wrestling World Television Championship, as we saw that flying forearm, lateral press, referee in position there. Ricochet originally made his name under a Lucha Libre mask. We're talking about a man who won the now defunct Chikara Young Lions Cup on multiple occasions. Anaconda Vice there at center ring, but the Hurricane finds the out. Super kick blocked. Collar and elbow that time. Fireman's carry. Rolls through on that loose Spicoli driver. Hooks the leg. Only got a 2 count. When we talk about the Hurricane, when we talk about Sugar Shane Helms, we have to talk about a man who busted his you-know-what for years just to make it to World Championship Wrestling. Ricochet here. Nice moonsault off the top. Referee in position, that might be it. Couldn't get the job done there. It was Hurricane as part of a group, believe it or not, in WCW called 3 Count, along with Shannon Moore and Evan Courageous. Ricochet that time decides to slingshot back in and not go for a springboard. Hard right hand and a boot. Ricochet looking to break some codes here tonight. 2 and some change. Could not get the job done. Ricochet has also competed in both Dragon Gate and Dragon Gate USA Puro Wrestler. That's pro wrestling in Japan. Ricochet also a man who's a former WWE, as we see that final cut, Intercontinental Champion. That will be it. And somehow Ricochet rolling that left shoulder up off the canvas. Fans, we will be here with you every week. Helms off the top. Missed the big Jimmy Superfly Snuka Splash. Ricochet now executes Le Magistral. 2 count on that Magistral cradle. Ricochet now. Short Irish whip and snaps off that Frankensteiner. Now it's time for Ricochet to fly once again. What is this? Phoenix Splash. Shades of Hayabusa. Center ring on the logo. Only got a 1 count? But Ricochet, the determined man, the focused man, the hungry man, fires up and will stay on. Hurricane Helms, shooting star press. And only a 2 count. And when we talk about that shooting star, we've got to talk about, as we see the inside cradle, another 2 count. We've got to talk about the inventor of that shooting star press, Jushin Thunder Liger. Here comes the Vertebreaker. And I call that one still the Nightmare on Helm Street. Hooks the leg. Ref in position. And the Hurricane defeats Ricochet here tonight in the first ever pure pro wrestling match. The Hurricane will advance to the next round. There was that code breaker. Hurricane with the final cut. I thought that was going to be it. But it was the Vertebreaker, the Nightmare on Helm Street, which got the job done. The referee slid into position, and the Hurricane will advance, as I said, to the next round. And as we take a look at the updated brackets, the Hurricane, aka J-Par, will advance. He will advance to take on the winner of this next contest. Fans, we have to thank you for being here tonight on our inaugural broadcast. Here from beautiful Charlotte.
The following contest is scheduled for 1 fall, making his way to the ring from Hagerstown, Maryland, weighing in at 230 pounds,
LA Knight, the self-proclaimed namer of dummies. LA Knight, a man who dominated TNA Impact Wrestling, now here in Pure Pro Wrestling and looking to make a name for himself.
And his opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 210 pounds, Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes giving up a little weight to LA Knight. Carmelo only weighs 210 to LA Knight's 230. Carmelo standing at 5'10" to LA Knight's 6'1". Carmelo, a 9-year vet in this great sport of professional wrestling. We just saw 2 amazing cruiserweights in the opening bout, and we're about to see another one here. Carmelo would love to capture that World Television Championship. All of these men want it. Only one of these men will leave North Carolina with it. As I stated before, there is a 15-minute time limit on all matches tonight, aside from the finals. LA Knight now stomps the uprights. You can't count out Carmelo Hayes. He does have the faster of the offense. LA Knight, though, known to pop out things like moonsaults when he wants to. Nice tilt-a-whirl inverted slam there from Carmelo Hayes. Now we see the ground and pound on LA Knight. Carmelo drops an elbow to the small of the back. Now working the wrist and the arm is Carmelo Hayes. Spinal tap kick. Carmelo here, putting on a clinic, ducks behind, floats through and lays the smackdown with that DDT. And Eli Drake, L.A. Knight, just got caught with that tope con hilo. And that was because he took his eyes off the prize that time outside the ring. Front face lock here, vertical suplex. We saw that earlier from Ricochet and the Hurricane, that suplex outside the ring. LA Knight picks his man up. Collar and elbow, rolling soul that time, great counter from Carmelo. The referee continues to count. Fans, in this organization, we respect the officials. In this organization, the referee's word is the law, and in this organization, as a member of the commentary booth, I'm not going to call what I see, I'm going to call what the referee sees. LA Knight back in, taunting, keeping his guard up, but put those hands in his pockets momentarily and got super kicked for his troubles. Carmelo picks his opponent up to his vertical base, looked for that pump kick, couldn't get it. LA Knight now, high crotch, scooping a slam, one of his trademark moves. LA Knight starting to warm up here. And when we talk about fan favorites, we have to talk about LA Knight. LA Knight was a fan favorite in TNA Impact Wrestling. He was a fan favorite as we see that K-Brada Lariat, a fan favorite in NWA Power. Lateral press here. Hooked the far leg, looked for 3, found 2, did Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes, also a man who's held many titles in NXT, including the Cruiserweight title, the North American title. Hell, he's even been the NXT champion. Carmelo there with the code breaker. We saw that from Ricochet in the opening bout. Ref in position here on the pin. And once again, only a 2 count. LA Knight, already one of the fan favorites here in Pure Pro Wrestling. Bicycle kick that time from Carmelo Hayes. Maybe looking for La Magistral. No, inverted spin out into a hammerlock. LA Knight has seen a lot, and he's seen too much. Front chancery that time into a vertical suplex. And look at the physique on both of these men. Full arm dragon twist into that Bret Hitman Hart style side Russian leg sweep. Carmelo Hayes now rolls to the outside, and LA Knight not going to give him a breather at all. Knight picks his opponent up. Corkscrew sidewalk slam there, modified side salto. There's a nip up Rana from Carmelo Hayes. And you got to be careful here because Carmelo will fly. As I mentioned before, Carmelo Hayes, 210 pounds, but that's a lot of weight if you get hit by it. And that was a heavy shot there as we see the kip up Rana once again. That shot from LA Knight went for that flying Hangman's Noose style neck breaker, was looking for it and could not get it. Collar and elbow, duck behind into a schoolboy, kips up, and then there's that leaping roundhouse kick. Carmelo Hayes so good at putting together combinations. A lot of wrestlers like to come in, they like to hit one move. That move Eli Drake has beaten so many people with, but not here tonight. Blunt force trauma, Eli Drake has called that at times. Eli has also referred to a different finishing move at times, and maybe that one as the gravy train. L.A. Knight, depending on what part of the country you're from and which product you watch. Same man, different name, same talent in the ring. Sidestep there, nice B-passo. Low roundhouse kicks to the leg. And if Carmelo can't fly, Carmelo can't win. Going to the Kenta Kobashi playbook, burning hammer, but LA Knight did not get all of it. Double sledge that time in a boot. Once again, over the top. LA Knight in position. Almost got it done. Years ago, in the late 90s and early 2000s, there was a man named Caprice Ice Coleman, now the announcer, front chancery, half butterfly suplex, now the announcer for Ring of Honor Wrestling. And he used that same move as his finisher that we've seen Eli Drake using. Caprice Coleman calling that one the thermal shock, as LA Knight now rammed into that metal guardrail. And you look at the guardrails we have here. Wanted maybe a version of an Usai moonsault that time. Turned around, did Carmelo. Couldn't get it, Eli Drake. It was so nice, he's now done that twice in this match. And Drake feeling pretty good about himself. As always in the booth, it is your boy Arachnid. So will Drake be going for this flying knee? Usually does this in the ring. There it is, off the top. We talk about the late, beautiful Bobby Eaton. Had that great leg drop off the top. Also had one of the best knee drops off the top ropes, off the top turnbuckles in the history of this great sport. Eli Drake deciding not to dive here. He's actually going to wait for Carmelo to get back into the ring. This is not an organization where the referee is afraid to count you out. The ref at a 5 count. Eli once again. Look for that Hangman's Noose neckbreaker. Couldn't get it. Ends up on the mat. And Carmelo now back in the driver's seat. Carmelo Hayes can and will fly. Let's see what he's looking for here. Watch this Rana. No! Countered into a powerbomb. LA Knight now picks his man up. There's a boot. And once again, that thermal shock. LA Knight tops his man. And LA Knight gets the win here in the first round. Let's take a look at some replays. LA Knight went back and forth with Carmelo Hayes all night. But yeah, LA Knight gets the win here tonight. Will be advancing, and that's a big win for LA Knight. A lot of the fans are supporting this guy. As we take a look at the updated brackets, there you see J-Par, who was the Hurricane, and Mez, who is LA Knight.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Orangeburg, South Carolina, weighing in at 248 pounds, Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin, a man who has been referred to as one half of the greatest tag team ever, alongside Charlie Haas. But here tonight, Shelton Benjamin doesn't have Charlie Haas, doesn't have MVP, does not have Bobby Lashley. Here tonight, Shelton Benjamin is a man alone, and let's see if he can do it. He's a great wrestler. He would make a great champion. Let's bring out his opponent.
And his opponent, representing the Alpha Academy from Superior, Wisconsin, weighing in at 330 pounds, Otis!
Otis, the heaviest wrestler we've seen in this tournament so far. Otis, a great amateur wrestler, winning championships in both freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling. This man's also been a tag team champion for the McMahons up in New York. And I'm going to say it right now, Otis will be a problem, not only tonight, but moving forward in this division. Shelton Benjamin caught with that Polish hammer, shades of Scott and Ivan Putski. Military press slam that time. And a Harley Race style diving headbutt. Here's a cover. And could not get the job done. But we can't just talk about the freestyle and Greco-Roman amateur wrestler that Otis is without talking about Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin, a two-time NCAA All-American. Shelton Benjamin, in his professional career, is also a former WWE Intercontinental Tag and United States Heavyweight Champion. Otis now maybe looking for, no, thought he was going for a camel clutch. Decides to just sit out on the back of Shelton Benjamin. Otis is a big guy to go up top. Let's see what he's got in store here. Double sledge, no water in the pool. Short arm, hip lock take over that time. And now stomping the yard is Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin, along with Charlie Haas, were two guys that were really brought to television by Paul Heyman years ago and taken under the wing of Kurt Angle. And now what is this? Otis, powerbomb that time off the mat. I'm gonna say it again, Shelton Benjamin is almost 250 pounds. Otis now, if that had been low, the referee would have stopped this thing, would have disqualified Otis, but that was to the midsection. Otis wants his man up. Nice combination there. Shelton Benjamin set for the ride. Otis now with those heavy shoulders. I mean, you look at the development of the trapezius muscles there on Otis, and you think about those driving into a guy's midsection. Once again, the hip toss there from Shelton Benjamin. Shelton now surveyed the damage, maybe took a little bit too long, a little bit of a stutter step as he looked for that elbow, couldn't get it, but Otis got the knee. Jawbreaker that time. And when we talk about Shelton Benjamin and the moves he's gonna look for, he's got the Dragon Whip kick. He also has a beautiful T-bone exploder suplex. Otis now to the outside. Shelton Benjamin knows he can only win this thing in the ring, so Shelton Benjamin is staying inside the ring. Shelton Benjamin was broken into this great sport in Ohio Valley Wrestling under the tutelage of Danny Davis and arguably the smartest mind to ever come out of professional wrestling, Mr. Jim Cornette. Double sledge that time from Otis. Otis picks his man back up. Full arm dragon twist driver from Shelton Benjamin. Muay Thai style roundhouse kick. Anderson Silva would have been jealous of that one. There's a boot from Shelton. Once again, that roundhouse kick. And we've talked a little bit about that dragon whip that Shelton Benjamin likes to use. That's a variation of a reverse roundhouse kick. Elbow that time from Otis. Hard rights and lefts. Otis is not afraid to go southpaw on you. Has Shelton up on the fingertips that time. Otis now. This is it. If he hits this, that's his fall forward slam. Otis has beat a lot of guys with that. I think he just beat Shelton Benjamin. Referee drops down. And that is it. Otis gets the win. Shelton Benjamin has been eliminated from this tournament. I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. Otis is going to be a problem in this division. Maybe the strongest man we've seen out here tonight. Hit that fall forward slam, the world's strongest slam, a lot of people would call it. Hooked the leg, got a 3 count. And fans, we have more great wrestling action on tap for you. I understand that there's 2 wrestlers right now standing behind the curtain, but let's look at these updated brackets. Baz, aka Otis, did advance.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 250 pounds, Solo Sikoa!
Solo Sikoa, a man who really made his name for himself in Las Vegas, Nevada. He was a Future Stars of Wrestling Nevada State Champion. That's FSW. That's a league that actually LA Knight came out of. There's been lots of great wrestlers who have come out of there. I know they've had people like Kenny King. They've had people like the Disco Inferno, Glenn Gilberti, do some of the training there. This man's also the son of Rikishi. Now, don't tell me this man's coming up. We hear those war horns.
And his opponent, representing the Viking Raiders from Valhalla, weighing in at 305 pounds.
And just when you think that Solo Sikoa at 6'2" and 250 pounds will be the biggest man that you are going to see in this match, out walks the Viking himself, Ivar, at 6'1", believe it or not, 305 pounds. The crowd loves this guy. As you just heard the crowd chanting war, we're going to get into this. This is the final opening round bout here tonight on PPW Global Television. The bell sounds, and I'm going to give the early advantage here to the man who can, I guess I'm going to have to give it to Ivar. I was going to say to the man who can first take their opponent off their feet. Ivar now, maybe, rolls back into the surfboard stretch here. Going to push those knees up at the same time that he pulls down on the chin and the ankles to get maximum torque on the hold. Had enough of it and throws his man out of the hold. Does Ivar. It's a big knee strike. And Solo Sikoa might be out on his feet here. Are you kidding me? Tope Suicida, a suicide dive from a 305-pound individual. Solo Sikoa sent back into the ring, and it looks like Ivar's just going to roll back into that same hold. When we talk about Ivar, we have to talk about a man that I've been a huge fan of for years, starting when I saw him in Ring of Honor. And we talk about Ring of Honor, we have to mention that Ivar is a former Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion along with partner Eric. They were known as War Machine back then. But I have to also say that they've defeated guys like Hiroyoshi Tenzan and Satoshi Kojima, and in doing so, they won the IWGP. That's International... What is going on here? I apologize for the technical difficulties. IWGP, that's International Wrestling Grand Prix of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Ivar's also made excursions to Pro Wrestling Noah. Has traveled the globe, has Ivar, spinning back kick and a cover. And only got a 2 count that time, and even Ivar can't believe it. Ivar picks his man Solo Sikoa back up to his vertical base. This is nasty. This is disrespectful. There's a Rikishi driver on Rikishi's son. Cover here. Only got a 2 count once again, did Ivar. Uppercut blocked. Ivar comes out on top. You almost look at the MMA style there of Solo Sikoa, the trunks. He's got the feet wrapped, no boots. And how strong is Solo Sikoa? 305 pounds, and got him up. Solo Sikoa momentarily looked like the dog that caught the car. Didn't know what to do, went for a spin wheel kick, got caught in a backbreaker. Diving splash here, Ivar takes it into a pin. Was a great pinning combination, but it's that Samoan fighting spirit of Solo Sikoa. The younger brother, as a matter of fact, of Jimmy and Jay Uso. Kin to Roman Reigns, kin to Yokozuna, kin to the Wild Samoans. Wrestling runs in this kid's family, it runs in his blood. High crotch, we're gonna see it again. Bam Bam used to do this. And when Bigelow did it, he called it Greetings from Asbury Park. Cover. Maybe we'll call that one Greetings from Valhalla moving forward. Nice shot there, back elbow from Sikoa. There's that spin wheel kick, shades of Owen Hart that he looked for earlier. Now working the arm is Solo Sikoa. Spinal tap kick. Solo stomps the yard, full head of steam. Either looking for a knee or maybe a headbutt. Looking for a headbutt because he's holding his head there. Collar and elbow tie up. Inside knee strike and a double sledge that time from Ivar. Ivar picks his man back up. Sent off to the ropes that time. Let's see what Ivar does here. Couldn't connect with that punch. Just hip locks his man. Brings Solo Sikoa back in the hard way. Irish whip that time to the corner. Ivar takes his man up top. Maybe looking for a superplex. Got booted for his trouble. Parried that spinning heel kick. We're going to see if Ivar stays in the ring here. No, he does not. Waiting for Solo Sikoa to get up. What is this? Diving sit-out lariat off the ring skirt. I'm going to say it for a third and final time here tonight. Ivar, 6'1", 305 pounds. I've said it before, this is an organization with rules. You will see guys winning on countouts in this organization if somebody cannot answer the 10 count. Front chancery in a club. Ivar hits the ropes, puts the brakes on. Rear gut wrench into that German suplex. Released it, no bridge, all impact. Solo Sikoa sent off. High crotch that time into a power slam. I think Ivar could have taken that into a pin, but Ivar realizes how tough this kid is and realizes he needs to hit him with something else. Spinning back kick that time. Ivar now picks Solo Sikoa up over his shoulders. Drops him, and I promise you, that will be it. There's no way. He's out cold. Cover 1, 2, and he grabbed the rope. Ivar's going to be kicking himself because his ring positioning was not good enough to secure that 3 count. Here comes Solo Sikoa. Irish whip. No, short arm lariat covers his man. If it caught me off guard, I can tell you it caught Ivar off guard. Ivar has not taken that much damage. Here it is. There's that ICU Samoan spike. That's going to be it. And only a 2 count. 2 and some change. The crowd here hung on that one. There was a hush over the audience. Pop-up Samoan drop. Solo floats through, hooks the far leg. Once again, only got a 2 count. And what is it going to take to put down this big man? Sikoa, once again, with that spike to the throat. Ref drops down. And Solo Sikoa wins this thing. What a great comeback win that was, that sweaty comeback. I did not see it going that way. It was a series of greetings from Valhalla's. Nasty pile driver. I mean, it was a similar move that broke the neck of Stone Cold Steve Austin in the late 90s.
Here is your winner, Solo Sikoa.
And it looks like the Samoan family will be moving on to the next round. This tournament shaping up now, and we're going to see who's going to advance. It's going to be J-Par versus Mez up next, and then Baz versus Bowen.
Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through.
Once again, here comes Sugar Shane Helms, a.k.a. the Hurricane. Looked very impressive in round 1 against Ricochet. Can he keep that streak, that momentum going?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, weighing in at 215 pounds, the Hurricane.
Hurricane Helms here tonight looking to get the job done. Unfortunately, he's got to go through this man. He's got to get through LA Knight. And we're going to see how this thing plays out momentarily.
And his opponent from Hagerstown, Maryland, weighing in at 230 pounds, LA Knight.
LA Knight, the perpetual motion machine of badassery, as he called himself in his younger days. Both men ready. Referee in position, checks on both men, and sounds that bell. LA Knight thought the Hurricane was going to come forward, throws a shot prematurely, backs up into the corner, and the Hurricane will take advantage of that. Shoves LA Knight out. Snaps off Le Quebrador Conillo. The Hurricane now taking a second to pose. There's that Hangman's Noose neck breaker that LA Knight wanted in the first round but could not score with. We talked a little bit about it earlier. A lot of people really seeing LA Knight, really respecting LA Knight for the first time as we see that Ted DiBiase style fist drop for the first time maybe the past 6 months. But as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, LA Knight was the top man in Impact Wrestling, the top man in TNA, the top man in Global Force Wrestling, whatever you want to call it. Actually defeated Eddie Edwards to become the world champion. Eli Drake now dominating the ring. We saw the knee drop in the earlier match. I think Drake's going to go for it again. And Eli Drake, LA Knight scores for the second time with that knee drop here tonight. Picks the Hurricane back up. Shoots his man back into the squared circle. Drake tenacious. Drake vicious. Drake hungry. Drops the elbow that time. And we're going to have to check with LA Knight after this, and we're going to have to figure out here in Pure Pro what moniker he wants to go by. Ducked the lariat that time, did the Hurricane, picks his man back up, ducks behind. Once again, Steve Corino driver. We saw him hit that earlier on Ricochet. Hurricane now going to the top. LA Knight doing the smartest thing he could. Going to the far side of the ring, blocks the lariat. LA Knight now with the lariat of his own. Picks the Hurricane back up. Shoots his man off, Irish whip. Nicely executed back body drop. Now what is this? Oh, the back of the head of LA Knight on that top turnbuckle. Basement drop kick missed that time from the Hurricane. Hard punch there. We saw this earlier. That Kenta Kobashi style burning hammer. A move so dangerous that Kobashi himself only broke it out less than 10 times in his entire career. LA Knight working over the Hurricane. A shot that time to the gut. Might have looked low, but the referee said it was above the belt. And there it is, that thermal shock, and I believe that will be it. And no, the Hurricane sliding out the back door. It's going to take LA Knight a little bit more to put this thing away. High crotch, scoop and a slam. We saw that in the opener for LA Knight here tonight. Thermal shock once again, and I think that's going to be his gravy train. LA Knight's looking real good tonight. I said it about Otis. I'm going to say it about Eli. I'm going to say it about LA. This guy's going to be a problem in this organization. And the crowd loves him as we look at some of those replays.
Here is your winner, LA Knight.
LA Knight. That's a big win for him. I'm going to check these updated brackets. And as you see, LA Knight, aka The Miz, has advanced to the finals. Baz now will take on Bowen. We're going to see how this thing ends up.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing the Alpha Academy from Superior, Wisconsin, weighing in at 330 pounds, Otis!
Now, Otis here has the hardest task of the night. He needs to win this match and also the match that's going to follow this. If Otis wants to be champion, he's got to win the next 2 matches.
And his opponent from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 250 pounds, Solo Sikoa!
Both of these men have had a little break, a little breathing period. This is the semifinals of the tournament. Otis and Solo Sikoa look ready. Ref sounds that bell as always in the booth. The best damn pro wrestling commentator going. And here tonight, in the tradition of throwdown wrestling, we bring you PPW, Pure Pro Wrestling. Solo Sikoa starting out strong here. As I mentioned a couple of moments ago, Otis is going to have to win this match, and then he's going to immediately go into the finals with LA Knight, who will be coming out here. And LA Knight's probably in the back right now. Maybe some cold water, having a Gatorade, watching this on the monitor. Nice counter that time. Went to the eyes, not sure that the referee saw it, or maybe he didn't go to the eyes. In any case, Solo Sikoa not eating that military press slam. He was looking for that fall forward slam already, was Otis. And we see Otis busted open, maybe above that brow. Solo Sikoa throws so many strikes, so many elbows, so many knees, so many feet, speak of the devil, that it's not surprising that Otis is busted open. The first man to get busted open here tonight. Modified Cracker Jack, just a double barrel side choke slam. Does it a second time, does Otis. Possibly a third time. There's the trifecta. Otis tells his opponent to get back to his feet. Solo Sikoa does. And Solo now eats a headbutt. Otis working the arm here of Solo Sikoa. And that's basically an inverted version of what he's been doing the past, say, 30 seconds. Trapezius claw here. And you think about the kin of Solo Sikoa, Yokozuna. Solo Sikoa's middle name is actually Yokozuna. Being a champion is in the family. It's in the bloodline, if you will, of Solo Sikoa. Sikoa back to his feet now. Pop-up spine buster that time. The referee now at 3. And Otis really just throwing around Solo Sikoa here. Otis might be a little bit more upset, a little bit more angry, a little bit more fired up now that he's been cut open. The referee at 5 now. Otis realizes that he can only win this thing in the ring. It almost looked like he tried to throw Solo back into the ring, and Solo kind of tried to block that and couldn't hit the ring apron. And I mean, just look at the brute strength here, the brute power. Spins through into that Anderson armbar and just sits out on it. I don't think Solo Sikoa here tonight thought, okay, I'm going to somehow fight 2 guys who are bigger than me. Possibly having to take on Eli Drake as well. Couldn't get the job there with that fall forward slam, but Otis will stay on his man. You hear the crowd chants going out here. What a great night of wrestling action it's been. Always nice when you get to just sit down and really watch this sport. Dropped an elbow off the top. Couldn't get the job done that time either. Otis not really a high flyer. He likes to go for that fall forward slam. He also has a move that he will break out sometimes called the Caterpillar. And once again, Otis just throwing his opponent around. Solo trying to roll to safety that time and could not. And Otis is the kind of guy, he will ground and pound you, but he'll pound you standing. There's a dragon screw leg whip that time. Shades of the Great Muda. Well, this was the combination that Solo put together to defeat Ivar. Thought he had him off just that Samoan drop. He's beat a lot of guys just off that. The chance of both these guys go out. I think Solo was looking for that spike and couldn't get it. Otis was looking for that fall forward slam and couldn't get it. Clubbing blow to the back there. Otis now working that leg. And that's going to take away one of the striking options that Solo Sikoa has. Back leg sweep that time. Solo Sikoa picking his man up. Uppercut blocked. And fans, we will bring you this action every week. Pure Pro Wrestling. This is Arachnid Soul in the booth. And this is the fall forward slam. If Otis can top his man, I believe Otis will go to the finals. And Otis gets it done. Otis is going to have a couple of seconds here. The doctors will clean up that blood as we go to the replays. But Otis isn't even going to get the chance to leave the ring. He's going to have to go one-on-one with LA Knight straight away in the finals. There's really no downtime. I guess Otis is going to get maybe a minute and a half break as LA Knight's going to make his way to the ring. But there you see it.
Here is your winner,
And now we're going to head to look at these updated brackets. And like I said, the doctors are going to check on Otis, get that cut cleaned up. It is above the eye. And it's going to be Otis, a.k.a. Baz, taking on Mez, a.k.a. LA Knight. Right now, as a matter of fact, in the finals. Let's go back to the ring.
His opponent from Hagerstown, Maryland, weighing in at 230 pounds, LA Knight.
LA Knight earlier today saying that he was born to be champion. And he doesn't mind the haters. He doesn't mind the people who are saying that he reminds them of a certain great one, a certain wrestler of the past. I mean, Ric Flair was not the original Nature Boy. Stone Cold Steve Austin was not the first Texan to swear and drink a beer. And here tonight, LA Knight is trying to be the first man to capture the Pure Pro World Television Championship. And Otis now walking around the ring. Otis knew that if he ran the rack here tonight, as we see that graphic for the finals, Otis knew he was going to have to fight two men back-to-back. And there you see it for the first time, the Pure Pro Wrestling World Television Championship belt. Both of these men would love to walk out here. I don't think these guys are going to rush into it. And for the second and final time tonight, I'm going to say it, you hear that opening bell. Arachnid Soul, the best damn pro wrestling commentator going here in the booth as always, and I will be here, I'm going to say it again, every single week. This should be your new obsession. This should be the new thing that you watch. It is Pure Pro Wrestling. Shoulder block that time, collar and elbow. Thought it was going to be a short arm lariat. It was a shot to the gut, as a matter of fact. Drake sent to the ropes. And Drake, a.k.a. LA Knight, with that nice DDT. And look how fresh LA Knight still is as compared to Otis. Boot from Otis. Clubbing blow. We saw that a little bit earlier. Otis sits out on the back of LA Knight. You got to think that that's going to hinder LA Knight being able to get off that burning hammer later if he tries to go for it. Neck vice, and Otis looking to twist off the head of Eli Drake like a bottle cap. Once again, Otis double barrel, side choke slam. I mean, so disrespectful just throwing his man away. Second time he does it here tonight. Otis staying on Eli Drake. And now both men, oh. It's a hard right. Both men backing off a little bit. Both men slowing down a little bit. Once again, the fist drop. We saw that from LA Knight a little bit earlier on. Hard shots, a boot. Once again, a DDT from LA Knight, the second of the night. And Otis rolls out and looks to these fans. Otis not exactly a fan favorite here in PPW. And I believe that LA Knight has just reopened that cut of Otis. Otis now, I believe, bleeding again. LA Knight thought Otis was going to be behind him. Went up top. Otis was not there. Maybe thinking that Otis would stumble out of the corner there, and does, but the range is so far, and Otis stays back. Taunting up there is a mistake. Eli Drake gets caught once again. There's a boot, almost like a basement Pele that time from the ring canvas. We talk about Otis and those heavy hands and the combinations. Fall forward slam time. No! Third time tonight, Eli Drake hits the DDT. Great counter. Picks his man back up. Shoots him off to the corner. Surprise Drake, LA Knight, whatever you want to call him, didn't follow it in. Missed with the axe bomber lariat. Connected with that European uppercut. Tried for the right. Got headbutt for his trouble. There's an elbow to the top of the head. You got to think maybe Otis wants to open up LA Knight as well. Maybe just as a receipt. Boot. DDT again, no. Modified Aurora Borealis, stayed on his feet, but it was a released Northern Light suplex that time. And as I said before, we're going to have to ask LA Knight moving forward what he would like to be known as in this organization. Earlier today, I saw him in the back. He was signing different autographs under 2 different names. It's a boot from Otis. Otis now stalking his man. Will look for this slam. Had it countered into a DDT earlier, was not countered that time. But Otis in his second match in a row, trying to get back to his feet. Cover. And Otis is a big guy, 330 pounds. But you got to think that the conditioning, the cardiovascular conditioning, the stamina is great. Ducks the lariat. Here it is again. No. Decided to throw him away that time. Maybe wants to do a little bit more damage before he hits that fall forward slam again, if he can get it. Obviously, with Eli Drake, you got to watch out for that burning hammer. Yeah. Eli now rolls out of the ring, taunts the crowd, tries to get the crowd behind him, and maybe it worked. It's a straight right hand that time. Backhand, knife edge chops, drop kick, not there. No one was home. No, that man, Knight, did try to ring the bell. Otis now picking his man up and slamming it. Looked like LA Knight wanted to roll out. Otis cuts him off. Knight picked back up now. Otis really in the driver's seat here. Nicely done. LA Knight floats over the top. Boot. That's it. He's going to win the TV championship right here. Wow. Got a 2 count. I did not see that kick out coming. Knight needs to stay on his man. Knee to the gut. Otis. Short arm lariat. The boot from LA Knight comes in. What a great counter. Countered the Hangman's Noose neck breaker into a choke slam. And here we go. Fall forward slam. Can Otis top him? Otis damn near dead at this point, having to wrestle 2 matches in a row. Tops LA Knight, does Otis. Will we have a new champion here? Yes, we do. Otis becomes the first ever Pure Pro Wrestling World Television Champion. I don't think that one went the way that the fans wanted to, but I'm sure LA Knight will be getting future shots at that championship. There you see that fall forward slam, and that's all she wrote. The cover here, referee dropped down into position and got the 3 count.
Here is your winner, and new Pure Pro Wrestling International Television Champion, Otis.
Fans, thank you for joining us on our inaugural event. It has been your boy Arachnid Soul. There we see Baz. We congratulate him. He used Otis to become the first ever Pure Pro Wrestling World Television Champion. When will our events be? You might be asking. It's going to be every Saturday morning. It's going to be about noon Eastern. As always, it has been your host, Arachnid Soul. You're going to want to join us next Saturday for the event that we have coming up. It's really going to be a special one, and you're going to get to see some great matches. Wrestling fans, thank you, and good night.